Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Lisnick and this is Comcast Newsmakers. This hour's newsmaker is Laura Thrall. She is the CEO for the United Way of Metropolitan Chicago. Today, we're going to be talking about Live United 2020. Laura, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Before we get to Live United 2020 and what that commitment's all about, you and I were chatting and some good news because United Way, like everybody, has had some pretty tough years. Tide's turned a little.
Yeah, the tide has turned. After 2 really tough years in our fundraising, we actually met our goal and now we'll exceed it for this year, raising about $53 million. Well,
congratulations on that. Sign of better economic times?
You know, we certainly hope so. I mean, a lot of our corporate partners have been very steady and they're excited about our new strategy. The jobless recovery is still hurting us a little bit, but we had a great increase in major gift donor giving this year of about almost $1 million. So that was great.
And so you proceed with an eye towards the future and Live United 2020 and tell our viewers a bit about what that's all about because it's a pretty significant commitment.
Absolutely. Live United 2020 is our 10-year vision to transform the neediest communities in Chicago. And we're going to do that by focusing on families and bringing them to economic stability through our 3 pillars, income, education, and health.
And speaking of the 3 pillars, income and health is really where you guys have concentrated in the last couple of years. And now education rears its head big time.
Right. So the last 2 years, you're correct. We put out our income initiative 2 years ago, focused on financial stability. Our health initiative last year, which was focused on connecting people to comprehensive, consistent health care. And this year, we are rolling out the 3rd pillar, education, and that's going to be focused in 2 areas, really. Ensuring that kids are ready to learn by the time they get to kindergarten, so we'll focus on early childhood. And then ensuring that kids are ready to succeed in high school by 9th grade by focusing in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years.
Is there any connection, go to Springfield, City Council, wherever you're looking, it's education, education, education.
Absolutely.
Don't cut the funds, don't cut the funds. But yet it's been a pillar of yours for longer than it seems that other people have put it as a headline.
Right. United Way actually in this country is the largest private funder of education. So people don't always know that about us, but it's been a focus for us for a long time. The difference this year is that we're really taking a very deliberate strategy to focus on those 2 pieces, early childhood and middle school, believing that that's the best way to really ensure successful graduation rates. And as we know, Paul, in Chicago, we've only got 56% of our kids graduating from high school. So it's a desperate situation. We all need to come together and work towards changing.
And you start with kids when they're very young because, it's not a whim. There are studies that guide this that talk about brain development.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that kids' brains develop in the most, the most ways between the ages of 0 and 5. So if you make sure that those kids are getting access to stimulating activities and quality preschool, et cetera, then we know that they're going to be prepared to be on a level playing field when they enter kindergarten, because you certainly don't want kids to be behind even when they get in kindergarten because they haven't had, really proper intervention in those 0 to 5 years.
Now, what I sense from you is this is almost a shift in purpose, and my words, not yours, but most people I think look at the United Way of Metropolitan Chicago and they think it's a fundraising organization. It's about raising funds, and I'm listening to you now and I'm hearing, no, this is about impact in the community.
Yeah, we have transformed the United Way over the past decade across the country from a fundraising organization to a community impact organization. And what that means is we really developed very specific strategies around income, education, and health to bring people to economic stability. So we developed the strategy, we put out the applications for partners, and then we monitor that strategy and measure the results. Because we really know that, a long-term strategy where we can have sustainable, measurable results is the best way for us to have real impact with all of those dollars that we raise.
So briefly, how do you decide what communities get the help? Everybody wants it.
Yeah, because in Live United 2020, we are really focusing on communities of greatest need. And we identified those communities in 2 ways. One was need factors, so income, unemployment, low ISAT scores, et cetera, children living in poverty. And then we looked at capacity, because if we're going to put resources into a community, we need to make sure that they have the capacity on the ground to execute successfully on our strategies. So capacity would include community infrastructure, current investment, good providers, et cetera. So where capacity and need came together, the confluence of those 2 factors, that's how we identify the communities.
Perfect. People should check out. We posted it at liveunitedchicago.org.
Yep.
That's where they can help and check it out. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
This hour's newsmaker has been Laura Thrall for the United Way of Metropolitan Chicago. I'm Paul Lisnick. This is Comcast Newsmakers. Bye.